Yep. It's a Pokeball mug. Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and it's time for another State of the Sparky vloggy video update thing. Is this a vlog? Am I vlogging right now? I don't know what a vlog is, but apparently that's what I'm calling this, the State of the Sparky vlog-iness thing. Another video series has been completed in full. Mega Man Battle Network has been uploaded to my channel, all 40 parts of it on the new upload schedule. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm very pleased that I managed to do that. Sort of going for a simpler recording style with less fancy edits meant I was able to get a continual stream of content continuing to go, chaining off of the end of my Breath of the Wild series that I started at the beginning of the year. And yeah, I'm pleased. I'm very pleased with how that worked out. I'm especially pleased with how it worked out because it gave me the opportunity to sort of work in the background on more things while having a continual upload stuff going. Yeah. While Mega Man Battle Network was uploading, I was able to work on making some of the special Sonic anniversary videos I did. I was able to cover the Pikmin 4 demo, which I am super excited for, of course. And it feels like it was the right decision to sort of stick to a simpler style, so I was able to do other things while also still uploading content at a regular pace. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again, is that I'm not done with more complex videos. I still plan on working on video series and things like that that make better use of my editing skills and having like little like captions and things on them and working on that. And thanks to like working on simpler videos and having those continually uploaded, it's given me time to try out more complex things that I normally do in the background. That being said, as far as me, the Sparky, is concerned, I haven't really been working on videos in the past couple weeks or so, aside from Pikmin 4, just because that was, you know, quick and easy to do. I wanted to have a little bit of coverage for the demo on my channel, because that's a game that I've been looking forward to for so long, and yeah, that was easy enough. But at the same time, been a little rough lately for your good friend here. I've just been kind of in a perpetual mood of like depression and disappointment and just feeling like bad things keep happening, and I got a little bit ill recently, which is always like a huge panic for me now, because I'm always afraid I have COVID. I don't, and I'm starting to feel a lot better, and yeah, so that's good. But like, I've also been having like a weird allergic reaction thing going on when I go to work. There's a lot of like construction and things happening at work right now that is disrupting everyday, you know, working life. Every time I go into my place of work, it feels like I'm in a different store, which is fun because things keep changing around, and eventually the entire layout of the place is going to be completely different, and that's going to be really fun to try and figure out. The last 2 times I've gone to work, I've had this thing where my nose starts running and my eyes start watering, and I thought that was just because I was sick and having like coughing things and stuffy nose things going on. But even yesterday when I was feeling better, I went into work and it just immediately started up while I was at work. Like I'm actually allergic to something at where I work. So I'm kind of charting that down as actually being allergic to working, which I didn't think was possible, but it seems like the most likely scenario at this point. But yeah, things haven't been great. Things haven't been terribly awesome for me lately. and it felt like things were not getting better. You know, it's just one of those depressive states where it feels like everything gets worse and you don't have the motivation to actually work on things, which I haven't really recently. That being said, I have been working on things. Like I said, having that month of continual uploads of Battle Network with the simpler video style, I was able to get that out, and it gave me the opportunity to work on things in the background. The next playthrough series is going to start on Monday, and that is actually more in line with the editing style that I had for Breath of the Wild, which had captions, which has clips, which has edits and zooms and things like that. It's more in line with the videos that I normally regularly would make at a much less frequent pace before the beginning of the year. But I did want to take this opportunity to share a story, sort of like a happy cap to depressing Sparky times, which has actually started to give me the motivation to actually start working on things again. So a couple nights ago, I eat dinner with my parents every night. I go up to their house and I have dinner with them, usually after work. If it's a day off, I'll have dinner just whenever dinner happens to be. And, you know, we hang out, we watch TV, we have a good time. And we live in, like, a relatively secluded area of the world. It's in a lot of wilderness. We often see wild animals roaming around the yard, deer and turkeys and woodchucks and rabbits and all sorts of things like that. Occasionally there's been evidence of a bear in the yard, once or twice. So there are bears around these parts, which is a comforting thought. I don't like going outside after dark. But yeah, we live in, like, the backwoods country area with not a lot of people around. And it makes it so when something weird happens, when something's out of the ordinary happens, it's a lot more obvious, because not a lot out of the ordinary happens around these parts. It's like the other day, I was walking home and there was just a balloon in the yard. A popped foil balloon that escaped from a birthday party somewhere. And you know, it stands out when something like that happens, because that's not usually the sort of thing that happens. But anyway, back to the point at hand. I was walking home from having dinner, and I heard a noise in the distance. Just like a sort of crying sound that I thought might be a bird. There are occasionally birds that make very odd crying sounds in the distance, in the woods. Like I said, lots of wildlife. There's lots of different birds that we see and we don't see. And things like, you know, the vulture that was just hanging out on the roof of my house the other day. It happens. But yeah, I hear this odd crying sound in the distance, down the road, where there's no, like, life or other people, anything like that. And it sounded like a bird. And I thought to myself, that must be a bird, right? But the other thought that I had is that sounds like a cat. That sounds like a small cat crying, meowing in the distance. And truth be told, I really didn't want it to be a cat, because semi-frequently we will have cats come into our property. There either were, you know, barn cats from down the road, or just wild cats that have been wandering around in the woods, or the occasional poor cat that gets dumped by some horrendous person. If you ever do that, what is wrong with you? Please, like, go away and never bother anyone again, because you're a terrible person. That's all I have to say on people who dump animals in the wilderness with little to no chance of surviving. And yeah, I think you can see where this story is going. I walk down the road towards the crying sound, praying that what I was hearing was a bird. And as it turns out, it wasn't a bird. It was a kitten. A little, probably not older than 5 weeks old kitten. Just in the woods, by itself. No one around, crying so loudly. Just the cry of a poor kitten that hasn't eaten recently. And yeah, it was just a heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching sort of thing that makes me hate humanity a little bit more. Because there's no way that a little 5-week-old kitten has been wandering around the woods by itself. This poor thing was dumped by some heartless individual who deserves terrible things to happen to them. That's all there is to it. So, of course, since there is no, cell service where I live, I have to run back up the hill to my parents' house, get their attention, inform them of what I found, and we go and see if we can possibly get this kitten out of the wilderness. Unfortunately, poor little kitty ended up taking shelter in a culvert under the road, which is like a pipe for drainage when it starts to rain, so, the road doesn't get flooded with water rolls downhill and fills up the sides of the roads, things like that. It has been raining a lot lately, so that sort of thing is a good thing, but it's not a good thing when there is a very small kitten hiding in it, and it could possibly get flooded out. So yeah, you have this situation where it's me and my mom trying to coax this poor, innocent little kitten out of the pipe under the road, and it's getting late, it's getting dark, we are having trouble seeing, we're trying to coax it out with food, but it's so young, it's possibly at the point where it, doesn't even know what cat food is yet, and doesn't know that it's supposed to eat what we're giving it, But yeah, it gets to the point where we really don't have much of a choice but to leave the food and leave this poor cat under the road because it is just too late, it is too dark, we don't have anyone to come assist us with trying to capture it, and yeah, it was one of the worst feelings ever having to leave this poor thing outside. So fast forward to the next day, I'm at work dealing with my weird allergic reaction thing that I'm having, and all I can think about all day is this kitten. I went down there early in the morning to see if I could see it, and I couldn't. You have the thought of, it wandering off into the woods, or, a wild animal finding it, and, it's just, the worst thoughts ever. Oh my god. I have the eternal dread feeling of a lost kitten being possibly attacked by wild animals on my mind all day. But thankfully, my mom sends me a picture during the middle of the day and shows that poor little kitty is in fact still out there, still in the same spot. It hasn't been eaten, which is a really good thing. And she is in the midst of talking to family friends who are wildlife rehabilitators, and they have these traps that they bait with food in order to capture animals with them, so they can take injured animals and help them recover and then release them back out into the wild eventually. She's working to try and get these traps so we can put a trap on each end of the pipe going under the road and try and lure the kitten into them, which makes me feel loads better. Just loads better. I am so happy that we didn't abandon this poor kitten and have it get nommed on overnight. The only problem is that there's now threats of thunderstorms rolling through the area, and this poor cat is now stuck out in the rain, possibly without shelter because the water running through the pipe under the road is now taking away its only shelter, and it's just yeah. Blah. But regardless, we get the traps, and my mom and my dad end up taking the traps down the road to try and trap the kitten in the pipe so it goes into the traps and we can recover it without it getting washed away by heavy rains. And yeah. And that ends up with me just kind of waiting for them to come back. And then they do, with very good news. As it turns out, because of the rain, the kitten was not in the pipe and was instead wandering around on the side of the road, so they were able to capture it and just put it in one of the traps. And we took it to the family friend we borrowed the traps from because, you know, he's the wildlife guy and he handles animals all the time. And the bottom line is that we rescued the kitten. This poor, defenseless little thing. We rescued it, and now it is safe. And it lifts a weight of dread off my shoulders, and I am actually kind of now gaining the motivation to keep working on videos again. And that's a really good thing. And I'm happy. I'm so happy. It feels like for the first time in like a week, I am happy. And it's just a great feeling. It really is. But yeah, that's my Sparky hears a kitten in the woods and helps alert people to its presence, and then it gets rescued story. And it's a good story. It's a nice story. I'm so happy that this poor kitty is now safe. And it gives me, like, the motivation to live again and, like, be productive and do things, and I'm in a good mood. I am in a good mood. Hence why I'm recording this and doing my little update video. Granted, it's not the most professional update video. I've got a fan going in the background because it's hot, and I'm recording this just off of my cell phone because the camera I bought that I did my last couple of like live footage videos with, the footage, when you record with it, comes out crazy fuzzy, and it looks like garbage, and I hate it, and I wasted $99 on that stupid camera, and it's just the worst, and I don't know how to fix it, and yeah. Recording with my cell phone, which is something I've done before, honestly, feels like it's working better. Yeah. At least, as far as I can tell, it looks a lot nicer. I can pair this possibly with, like, a better quality microphone and things like that in the future. And maybe not with a fan running in the background. But yeah. But yeah, Sparky's got his groove back. And there's more videos coming your way. Like I said, next project starts Monday. I'm thinking of kind of making that a thing where I have new projects start on Monday, which means there might occasionally be longer gaps between series by like a couple days, depending on like how many like video parts I have put into it. As long as I have the series completed in like multiples of 5, where I'm uploading every weekday, then it would usually work out. I wonder if I could actually pull that off and make every video series end on a part with a 0 or a 5 at the end. It's possible. But yeah, new video series starts on Monday. We're leaving the internet world of Battle Network and instead going back to regular world, except from the perspective of a very small person. I think you know what I'm talking about. I hope you enjoy the videos to come. Make sure you do all that nice, like, subscribey things to keep informed on when new videos come up. And until next time, I'll catch you later. This is your good friend Sparky signing off. Bye.